I can do it if you want.
Yeah, you do it. Oh.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live Reality Games podcast. My name is Josh, and I'm joined with Vince again today. And we're going to be discussing episode 11 of Survivor South Africa Immunity Island Season 8. How you been, Vince, since last week?
The same. Do we? Oh yeah, no, the same. We're still in the lockdown. Life is normal for me because I work in hospital. But how about you? How are you holding up, Josh?
Look, I am over these lockdowns. I am getting paid sitting at home, so I guess it's like okay. But to be honest, I'd rather get paid actually working. It's pretty hard, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, it's what we have to do to save people's lives, and that's what I'm thinking of when I crack the poopies about lockdown. So yeah. So it is what it is.
Just think we're actually pro-life, like we're saving lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how I look at it.
We're not pro-lockdown.
The same with the vaccines too. Get a vaccine, save a life. That's how I look at it. You know, you save a life by having a vaccine, and that's how I look at it. And
all right, let's just jump into the episodes. So I think both of us feel kind of weird watching this episode. I think we mentioned before that our winner, the winner edit, Anesu, it's basically just
it just like imploded. I'm just like, oh, this isn't happening unless Tyson was going this episode, which, like, to be honest, is what I called last week. I actually thought Anesu was going to take out Tyson, and we're going to get them three, and then Operation, I can't remember what it's called. Destiny, I think. Is it Destiny? Yeah. I thought Operation Destiny was a go, and I thought Operation Destiny was going to just take out the game with Anesu winning because she had more of a connection with everyone. But that didn't seem to be the plan. To be honest, I do blame Manella for being a Dumbo. So he will be getting something further on, an award he probably honors because he gets it a lot. But anyway,
Can I just mention, I think Anela sort of like last season, Dural, remember, like the final four? They are like kind of like they're in this so good position because they're quite clueless, but then it's just they're at a power play. They didn't know how to play it. I was like, they always help the other side to get further instead of like the underdog where they have more chances to be, getting like to the final and get more votes. Obviously, they're going to get carried anyway, like regardless which time they go. But we decided to offer more options.
I do say, however, it is Survivor South Africa, so like the edit is like completely like chaotic, and we don't actually we have no idea who's going to win this. Like, you can't, like, Santoni could win it for all we know. Won't happen. It won't happen, but it could. You just never know. Like, these things are like the way they edit Survivor South Africa is like they don't edit any other season like this ever, like, in the world. So like it's very confusing from a super fan point of view, because you're expecting like Anesu to win because of like even like her early edit at the start of the game where she has these already made connections and she's making all these connections, and you're like, oh, she's got this in the bag. And then everything about her was a good part. Like, it was a good edit. So everything about her was positive and it was never a negative. So like the whole time you're thinking Anesu's got this in the bag, she's going to win. And then this episode happens and I'm so confused.
Can I ask you a question?
The way they did, but at the same time, I love unpredictability, and this is why this season, I think, to be honest, is even better than what it was last episode. Like, it's getting close. I'm getting excited. We're nearly done.
Can I ask you a question? Are you expecting, watching this episode, are you expecting Anesu going this episode, or are you like, oh, it's Tyson, definitely Tyson?
I realized it was Anesu when Anesu wasn't realizing she may have been the target. That's when I realized she was going. Yeah, because like Yeah, before Tribal, yeah. Because Tyson, he gets the edit of they're going to take the name of the head of the snake, essentially, and that's going to be me. So I know I'm going to be getting some votes tonight. He has that confessional, and then that from that point, I'm just like, yeah, Tyson stays, and then Ace is going. Like it self-writes itself because Tyson knows that his name's up on the block, which, to be honest, Anala's probably told him, and then he's probably had that confessional afterwards. But then they've put it into an earlier part into the episode just to make it look like that he's aware of everything that's happening. And that's probably why we get that, because he's been told. Where Anesu hasn't really been told anything.
Yeah, it was surprising because we had that confessional about Nicole saying that, oh, I really vibe with Anesu. She's the only one I trusted at the moment. So, and then you have that Nicole telling Anela, and then Anela saying like, "Oh, Nicole won, so like we're gonna vote together," all that kind of stuff. But so it just kind of threw me off that it just went a different direction.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with this episode. Like, I love it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I wish I knew who's going to win, so then I could like root for them, like, you know, so I could be like, yes, I want this person to win. But but at the moment, I just have no idea.
Well, so we know the winner edit who is.
We could be hating on Anela. We could be hating on Anela, and Anela wins.
You know who has the winner edit now. You know, we talk about it.
Oh yeah, I think we all know who might win from this point. Like, it's very Kieran's game right now.
It is.
But at the same time, last episode was very Inesu's game. So Kieran could go next week.
No, hang on. It was an Inesu game, but she didn't make the choice. That, I mean, if she did flip with Amy and take out Tyson and Wada, then
I think she still loses in that point, though.
I feel like she's not winning. Like, in that, I don't see.
The only way I could say winning was doing exactly what she did last episode and taking out Rainier and Amy, and then joining Nicole and Anela now. However, to be honest, she probably sort of burnt that by not keeping Amy and Rainier in, by having that option.
Like, yeah, because she's the one deciding, isn't it? Like, Nicole's
yeah. So she's like, you know,
Karen.
So Amy and Rainier are going. So now she's burnt that. She's burnt that, like, sort of like alliance option with Nicole and Anela, even though the edit makes us believe that she's like hasn't burnt it. Like, it's weird. When you actually like think long about it, it actually makes sense why they went with Tyson and that. But
I guess it's a downfall playing in the middle, because then you're like, you can choose, but then like if anything,
yeah,
you get Ben first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, if you hurt someone, you've hurt them, and they're not going to be like, you know, we want to save you. Like, you know, I mean, it's not going to be in their mindset because you've already hurt them, so they're not going to like help you back.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this episode, we'll talk about the reward challenge. It was pretty quick, actually.
What's the I only just watched it like an hour ago.
Yeah. So reward episode is where the reward part is where they have
the
basket, and that's where the coconut's into the basket, which knocks over a puzzle when it gets too heavy. And then they do the puzzle. It's a very easy puzzle. It looked like it took like 1 minute.
Yeah. I think it's very easy. Yeah. And also want to mention that we get to see the schoolyard pick as well before the reward. So like USO don't show it anymore. They used to, but now like it's quite refreshing. Again, I want to emphasize.
Yeah.
See how
it feels very LRG. It feels very live reality game sort of editing. It's good. It's really refreshing to see it on TV. And I always love seeing like that part, like especially this one, because we see like it's a schoolyard pick, so they pick the opposite sex, right? So the fact that Santoni doesn't get picked by her supposed alliance really frustrates her, and she keeps crying emotionally, and I hate it.
Wait, what's her quote? Can you say what she said?
Sorry,
remember she had that line.
I can't remember.
You don't want to be like me, make me angry, because if I'm the bitch.
She said something, and I was about to tweet it out, and I can't remember it, and I should have tweeted it out because it was hilarious, and it was.
Santoni's gonna come for you.
Yeah, this game, like at the start, was like very like Santoni heavy, and it was only because she was the one making the moves. She was moving in and out alliances. She was using idols, making idol plays, and all that stuff, which makes sense, right? She had the option of doing all this stuff, so she did it. And we stand a queen that plays for fun. And yeah, like, and then now we're getting this edit of Santoni, which is like sort of degrading her character, which sucks. Because like you get like this hype for this like character, and then like the editors are slowly building her down. I'm just like, no, build her up. Make her seem like she's doing it.
No,
I'd rather see like the Santoni show.
Yeah, I like this edit because she's a flaw person. Like she has her flaws, she has like strength. I like this complex edit because then you get to know, like, you know, you're not one-dimensional person. Every one of us has like two different sides. So I'm glad that they show her as like, you know, she can be smart and she can also be emotional.
Yeah, but like now I'm seeing just an emotional side of her, and it's like that's all we're getting now is just her like emotionally reacting to everything that's happened, and it's just like I don't want to see this side of her. Like we all know that people are like that out there, but now we're just seeing that about her, and it's just like, oh.
But she didn't have any. She can't make any choices.
No, she doesn't have the power at the moment.
Yeah,
I think she might have it further. I reckon she might have it a bit further.
We can discuss later because in the next episode.
Yeah, I reckon she might have some moves.
She does have, but then I'm not too sure at the moment. But I don't want to like jump into too far.
I'm still standing a Chappie's Santoni final 2. Just say. Or a final 3 with Nicole. Like a Nicole Santoni Chappie's final 3.
Okay, well, let's jump. Sorry, I said I don't want to jump ahead. Now I want to jump ahead. So Santoni and Anela doesn't get along. So I don't think they can work together anymore. Like I know that's a logical sort of way to do it, but I feel like with that trouble console we see that sort of like back and forth. I feel like they burn the bridge.
Anela did make back up with water. So Anela may have finally decided to start putting on his survivor cap. But to be honest, he was forced to make up with water because the game forced him to.
But we don't remember like Tyson and Kieran actually want Anela to be the final 3. So I don't see why would Anela work with Chappie and Santoni. Obviously, they don't get along, and secondly, he's guaranteed a final 3 position. So I feel like that sort of chapter is closed, including Nicole is closed. So I don't know what Santoni and Chappie can do, but there are safe episodes. We all know. It's weird that Anesu was able to give Chappie her advantage. I don't know why, because she'd been voted out. She shouldn't able to do that. And then, Santoni found her second idol.
I have a reason why Anela might go with Santoni and Chappie's the next episode. So I'll explain it, and then you can tell me if you think it's right. So we see a confessional after the immunity challenge. I'll go back and talk about the immunity challenge in a sec. But we see Anela talk to Nicole, and Anela's like, I just want you to stay in the game. I'm going to make sure that you stay in the game throughout the game when I'm here. Right? Everyone knows that when Santoni gets picked to go to Immunity Island, there is an immunity idol. Now, if, say, for example, you've got the 3, you've got the Kieran, Tyson, Water 3, and say if they want to get Anela over, they're not going to try and target Chappie's or Santoni, only due to the fact of the idol. Right? So my thought process is that Anela probably has to go, because then they're going to just target Nicole. That 3, right? They're going to be like, Nicole's an easy pick off. We can just get rid of her now, because then we'll flash out the idol and get rid of next time. So the only thing that makes sense for Anela to save Nicole is to join Chappie's and Santoni with Nicole and then take out one of the 3. That's the only thing that makes sense if he wants to live to them words. However, like I said in previous podcasts, the edit doesn't mean jack shit. Because we always get these storylines and they just never eventuate. And it's just like, it's like them books, you read a book and it's just like, which ending do you choose? And then it's like, go to page 832 and then you'll go to page 832 and it's like a different ending. This is very this.
Well, I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from, but then we also have the confessionals that Anela said, "I owe her one." So I feel like maybe he thinks I already paid my due, so like she can go wherever, like, because I guarantee a final 3, so I don't need Nicole. Nicole, how strong are you?
I don't. He's throwing his eggs. If I was out there, right, there's no way you throw your eggs in one basket. You keep every opportunity open. And this is the thing with Anela, and this is why Anela always gets like a kill every single time we're on this thing. He always just goes the one way, and he never thinks about the consequences in the future. He's just like, cool, as long as I get through one more. But he doesn't realize that just getting through one more is actually like hurting himself. He was at a really, really ridiculously good spot going into that merge. Like, I mean, like, stupidly good. Like, he could have easily went whichever way he wanted to and still made moves and kept people in the game that he wanted to, because he's always sort of been the swing vote.
But with that saying, if he's not being Anela, he wouldn't be in that position, isn't it?
No, but like you could play up like the dumb card, like I'm playing dumb, and then like get to merge and just like annihilate. To be honest, nobody's ever done that. So that's
but he's not though. He is that kind of person. He can't pretend to be that. So it's like you asking a sort of not so strategic person to be play strategic, because they're not. So like I get what you're saying, but like they have to start with being like really in tune with the game itself. But I don't think Smash is a super fan. I don't think he's a fan at all. He's a casual. So I feel like for casual, it's asking too much.
That's true. I don't know. The edits, to me, it's sort of giving like Tyson Water and like Kirin, like unstoppable 3 villain vibes. And like whenever they pull something off, I just hate it, because like I'm just getting like this, like it's like the villain's winning, and it's just like I don't want that. And it's just
they were an underdog a few episodes ago, so
like they were, but like I don't know. Like to me, I just get like this, like they're like the villains you don't want to win.
Well, can I also mention
that's just my thought.
It's like a parallel sort of like Rob, Nicole, and that sort of like the Lions, remember? Like last season as well. So it's kind of the same thing where like Tyson and Kirin, they're like really tight, and then you know it's and then all the casuals just play like with them. They don't play against them.
Yeah. I have good hopes for Chappies. Chappies is going to be. Let's just hope there's 6 more spinning challenges, and he'll win.
Well, let's jump to the immunity challenges. Yeah, we went out topic.
To be honest, Nicole should have just gave it up. She knew she was losing against Chappies. However, to be honest, it did gain her a lot of brownie points. To continue to play the game. I
was going to ask you, what do you think about people like? Everyone sitting out besides Nicole and Chappie.
You know the weird thing I found? It looked like there was only 4 platforms.
Yes.
Right? So it's like they already knew the 4 people were going to sit out. But I re-looked at it. And there was actually 2 sides on each one. So they actually had enough. There was 2 sides on each color. Yeah, there was 2 sides on each color, so it was fine. But like at the same time, when I looked at it, I'm like, why is there only 4? Are they gonna go back into their teams? I'm like, oh bloody hell, no.
No.
I was back into their teams.
I was thinking like they do 3 rounds, like round 1's the 4 people, the second round's the 4 new people, and then like the 2 and then go, because they did that in Pearl Islands, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they had that idea if because like even Australian Survivor this week, they had this challenge where they had the balls and they had to like put them on like as a balance challenge anyway, and they had to put them on these poles and like hold them up. And if you look on that episode, there's actually 12 poles and actually 12 balls, right? So I feel like in that episode, they were out there for the longest time, and they've then decided to go to 6 because it's easier and they can get the challenge done quicker. So like, I had that thought with this one as well. I thought that because to be honest, that challenge seemed ridiculously too easy and too quick. Yeah.
It's just simple. It's endurance though. Like you have to go in the water, in and out, and then go up and then swim down again. Hold your breath. It's quite taxing for like it. But and then I don't feel it's easy. If it's and then especially when you're starving and stuff. So, but it's quite straightforward. You can either do it or you can't. So.
I do tell you what though, I don't complain when I get to see Chappies in a Speedo. Just I'm all for it. So if they want to keep continuing the Aquaman storyline, I'll be there. But I don't know. This challenge seemed like it was missing something. It seemed like there was another element, and I don't know. To me, it's just what it seemed like. Anyway, a lot of people decide to eat spaghetti, which, to be honest, it's a smart idea because none of them were beating Chappies, and it makes sense. Like, I would have eaten the spaghetti. Like, I wouldn't have beaten Chappie.
I'm not really good in swimming, but if I'm actually good in swimming, I might, not do it.
Yeah, if I knew I was half decent at it, I'd probably give it a go. Like, I can swim, but I can't. I'm not like a butterfly champion like Chappies is. Chappies should represent South Africa in the Olympics. I don't know why that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, butterflies are hard to throw. The fact he knows it quite well it means he's had some practice in the pool.
Can I say that spaghetti looks rank? Like I wouldn't eat it.
Oh yeah, it looks terrible. I'm like gross. But to be honest, if you're out there for 30 days, and if you're Santoni, who hasn't had really much food at all, you'd be like, I don't care if it looks 3 days old. I'm still eating it.
It's called pasta. I don't.
Yeah, I would still eat it though. I wouldn't care, And the fact they got soft drinks as well, like a sugar boost, is massive out there.
And also Chappie not placing the final ring. I feel like it's not a douche move. It's you can see in Australian Survivor, it's kind of a douchey move, but he's actually helping the.
Yeah, he's letting him eat. But to be honest, I would have just put it down. You don't want other people to eat.
You don't want
you sort of don't want people to eat because then they're going to get weaker. So then you become stronger and stronger.
But he's a nice person, Chappie's nice.
I know, but I would have just put it down.
I was wondering if everyone sit out, would they allow it? They would be like, okay, you guys, Chappie's default winner.
Yeah, probably. They probably had to they probably had to they have two rocks. Sometimes they're a white and black one, and then they have to show the white one if they want to eat, or the black one if they want to play or whatever. They probably did that at the start, and then everyone's eating, and then Nicole's like, oh, I guess I'm the only one. Let's go against Chappies.
I feel like if Chappie is the only one, they're still gonna ask him to do it though. I don't agree with giving a win. You have to do the work first. Don't you feel what would you think?
They probably would have had to make him do the challenge still, so they could eat within that time frame.
Yeah.
But he probably would have just sat there and did the challenge really slowly and let them finish the bowls. That's probably the edit we would have got. Anyway, surprise, surprise, we see Chappies send Santoni to Immunity Island.
Before we move on, Josh, what do you think about Anasu and Chappie want to send Santoni? So basically cutting their numbers down to vote out Tyson. So what do you think about that?
Well, they know that there's a tied 3 in that alliance, right? So they know that it's 3 versus 3 in that alliance at the moment. They know that. And there's not, and the fact they keep tiptoeing around a tribal, just bloody say it. If you say it, the jury knows and they understand what's happening in the game, right? If you're tiptoeing around this bloody same question over and over and over again, nobody's going to know anything. And then, you're going to go into Final Tribal Council and they're going to go, these were 3. Yeah, no shit. But, you should have told us. Just be open at Tribal. Not ridiculously open, to the point of, I'm voting for this person. But be open enough so that the jury can understand the current gameplay at hand. Especially if you're the one about to pull off the move. Yeah. So
I was thinking maybe Kieran was doing that because maybe he knows about Ernesto having some advantage, so that's why he doesn't want to spook her to play it. That's another factor in play. that like he just trying to play it as like trying to make her feel safe. That's the whole reason.
I guess so, but like to be honest, even Anesu knows. Like, it's not rocket science that they know that the tribe split in half, and it just annoys me. Like when Chappie said all that stuff last week at Tribal Council about like we're just going around the same bloody questions. Let's just answer them and go to the vote. Like, as a viewer, it becomes frustrating because they're like, oh, I know we're all together, but something could happen. And it's just like, it's almost like boring, anticlimactic bullcrap. Like, stun me. Like, come out and say, yes, we're in a 3. I can say, oh, hang on. And then, like, you get an interesting Tribal Council. Like, the Tribal Councils this season have been bloody horrible. Like, besides the whole Anela arguing with everyone. Like, that's the only decent part of the Tribal Councils. The season's gameplay has been amazing, but like the Tribal Councils have been ridiculously lackluster. I don't like for example, is it Island of the Idols, or is it? I think it's Island of the Idols where they all stand up and they talk for like hours. I don't like that. That's boring. But like, I don't mind when like somebody's whispering as the next person's here to like make sure like a plan's going down and stuff like that. And like, that's the Tribal Councils I want to see. But like, we're not seeing that, and I don't think we will with this cast. The cast is too strategic, and they're not. It sounds stupid, but they're not playing for the cameras. And I know that's what I know that's what you should not do. But like at the same time, regardless of like everything, it's a TV show. And
well, Josh, I disagree with you. Like, you shouldn't think it's a TV show.
No. But like, you should still think.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but guys, let's just. I mean, I understand your point of view. Like, they have to make it interesting as well, but then like you can't force them to do something they're not comfortable to do. Be like,
from a jury's point of view. From a jury's point of view. If you go into that every like second night, it's just the most boringest piece of crap for like 3 hours. Like, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna engage with like a person in that tribe that's like potentially gonna make a big move because you don't know who's bloody done it. Like, they haven't even said anything. Like, it wasn't like they weren't even smiling and laughing when they took out an SU. Like, there was none of that. Like, it was just like this. And I'm just like, you've got to like make it known that was your move. And like, they're just not making it known. It's annoying. It's so annoying.
Yeah, they could. Well, Kirin Shoes could have said like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Anasu." So, well, obviously we know. Obviously we know who.
Obviously we know who, but like the jury might not know. And the people coming out of the game are always going to be pissed off with the people that voted them out. It's like, Anasu is going to be annoyed at the 3 that voted them out, right? They voted her out. That's a given, right? So now, because they haven't even said anything about that vote, Anasu back at Jury Villa could show like that she doesn't like these 3, and they want like because to be honest, the jury at the moment is not voting for one of them 3 at all. Like, that 3 is definitely not getting a vote, regardless of who's in a final. If it's Santonia, Nella, and bloody Kirin is not getting a vote out of that jury. Not at all. Not one hope in hell is that jury voting for Kirin.
I wouldn't. I can see like Rainier voting for Kirin.
That's the only person. Rainier respects the game. That's legit the only person.
I feel like Amy, but I'm not sure about Marisha and Swan.
No, they all vote Anela in this instance.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what Anela's done, like, regardless of him being horrible, like, they're voting Anela at this point because, like, he flipped and made that move happen, yeah? So in their head, they're all thinking Anela's done the move.
Or they think Nicole.
Yeah, either one.
Yeah.
Either one. They think either. But yeah, that's the only thing they can think of at the moment because nobody stood up and like claimed the move. Like,
actually, why would like it's normal if you're logically thinking it's a 3 turn the name to the 2. It wouldn't be the 2 influence the 3, right? Knowing the dynamics. So like you can't.
Yeah, no, but the two in this episode had all the power.
They
could have carried 2 went home.
They are decided to go, but they're not the one sort of. They're basically in charge, but they're not the one who like started this thing. Like, they have no power to start this, but they have the power to choose. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But it's ultimately down who chooses, regardless, right? you could be in a tight 3 and be like, oh, let's get this person out, and we can go around, we can tell everyone. That's not your move until the person's actually done it. So technically, that move was Anella's.
So you're saying like the move is not the person who suggested it, it's the one who voted for it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So
from a jury's point of view, because nobody went out and claimed that move, right? So Tyson or Kieran didn't stand up and say, "Oh, sorry, I got you out." Like because that wasn't
done it. But they could have done that next episode anyway. Be like, yeah.
No, they could. But what I'm saying is though, because nobody has technically claimed that move in front of the jury, right? If you look at the dynamics, 3-3-2, the two have made that decision. So in their head, and plus because they're also at Anella and Nicole's good side, because it's all old Zamba, right? They're thinking Anella and Nicole have made this move in their head. So they're like giving them props because, you know, they're on their original alliance and everything like that. So that's the issue. That's the issue. So like nobody, I can't, to be honest, I don't think Rhaenyra at this current time would vote Kieran. Like right at this point, when Anessa goes home, I don't think he votes Kieran.
Okay, let's agree to disagree. Let's just move on because I feel like we're running in circles.
Yep.
So Santoline went to that Mimiri Island and then she played that thing. And then what do you think about the fire idol? I was interested.
I love it. I low-key love it. I love it too. I like low-key love it. I think it was amazing. I love how like these shows just like show us like these random advantages like we never have thought of. Like to be honest, I would probably change it out to a challenge, like instead of fight making.
Oh, okay.
It's a fight making challenge. Like say for example, if I was to run that in a live reality game, because we are live reality games up in this box up here.
Yeah.
Yep. I would probably just change it into a challenge, like a slide puzzle, or you know. The top 2 vote getters will now compete in a challenge to see who goes home. Like it's very Sequester-ish. We've seen it in Sequester, like where the person who votes out takes somebody else. But this is the top 2 vote getters. Like this is good. This is like interesting. It's, you know, does she play it after the votes? I don't know. Does she play it before the votes?
I think it's played before the votes because then
it's an idol. It's an idol, so I'd assume before the votes are read. But like it's interesting, it's cool, it's different. But it does tell us that the auction's next, which is sort of cool as well. Builds up for the next episode.
I think they probably might introduce like hidden items that you can bid for. I think that would be great. I'd like to see this being used.
Yeah, they might actually put the fire idol as a hidden item.
Yeah, I was just suggesting that they thought of it. Yeah. They want to give it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm vibing with this season. It keeps making me hate it, but at the same time, I can't stop watching it. It's slowly falling out of my top 5.
I feel like it
slowly. I hate to say it.
I do feel like it's not like it's sort of all strategy. It's kind of like sort of mundane. There's no like I don't laugh when I watch it. I have to like constantly think like you know. So it's not. Yeah, I wouldn't go back and rewatch after that. At this moment, I feel like there's just flatline after the merge. It goes up and then just. Stay like
the first merge tribal council is the best tribal council in the history of tribal councils. Maybe give or take Parvati's double idol play, and maybe Kelly Wentworth's idol play where she cancels nearly every vote.
That's not the merge, isn't it? That's not the merge. That's not the merge.
Is that merge?
No, that Cass went on the merge on second chances. So that's
yeah. But
and the Kage merge episode.
Yeah, as a merge episode, Tribal Council is one of the best. I'm just trying to remember. There's no other really good ones. Well, there's good ones.
Yeah. I still think this season is slightly better than last season, though. I feel like so.
Oh, this season's great. To be honest, regardless of the fact we haven't seen much like social gameplay, the characters on this season are great. I love them.
I feel like
I could do without seeing Tyson, Water, and Kieran again. Like that doesn't faze me. I know that they'll probably make the final 3 or whatever. I want to see more of Chappies. I want to see more of Santoni. I want to see more of Rainier.
No, Rainier.
I feel like Rainier was very game body, but I feel like in the next time he goes to play, he would be like.
He's going to be more game. I don't think he's going to be more likable. But unfortunately, he's competing with like the season 6 Philippines. What's the other guy? The priest or the pastor? They're like the same.
I can't remember names.
Huh?
I can't remember names unless.
But they are like I would put them all in the same category. Like, but and then the other person's more sort of interesting than him. Like that the other like the season 6 guy was more charismatic and more fun. And then Rainier's just like.
I wanted to see Dino in the movie.
Yeah, I want to see Dino. He's interesting sort of character to have.
He was very like chaotic and like was always scared, and it was always great to see. It's just like, I don't know what to do. It was good. It was good.
Oh, anything else we want to talk about? Unless you didn't use her pass, obviously.
No, but was she allowed to give it?
I think production allowed it. Otherwise, they wouldn't show that clip.
Yeah.
So I feel I don't know. The South African rules might be different. The Australian rules are different. So.
The only thing I can see happening. I feel like Nicole does not want to work with Kieran, Water, and Tyson. I feel like Nicole still wants to work with Chappies. Right? Are you sensing that? Because this episode, that's what I sensed. I sensed that she wants to work with them, right? So I feel like we could either get Chappies just trying to save himself with the Tribal Council pass, which Chappies, if you're listening, it's the wrong move, but I know it's already happened, but it's a wrong move. They need to take out like Water or like Tyson or Kieran and send them out of Tribal Council, right? With the Tribal Council pass. So then Anella feels like he has to go with them. Otherwise, there could be a potential of rocks and something bad happening, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the only way that they can play this Tribal Council pass is aggressively. And to be honest, if I was to ever have like something like a safety without power in the game, I would only use it offensively. Like using it like unless you were going, unless you 100% knew you were going, I'd use it defensively. And you had like even you couldn't like sway the votes. The only other time I would use it would be offensively for sure to get numbers, to make everyone think that like the game is now yours in a sense. That's the prime time to use it, and they have to use it next Tribal Council too as a final 7, so I have to use it. So
so either way, Chappie and Santoni safe next episode. That's what I'm saying.
Right, 100%. And this is the issue, and Alan needs to realize that Santoni more than likely has an idol, right? And they've 50-50 chance, like what Haley did on Australian Survivor, where
don't mention it.
Okay,
because people may not watch it, and you got your.
That's true. But there's a 50% chance that like they might get the wrong person, so you don't take that risk, especially if you're in a high majority like that. You take out one of your bottom rungs.
Well,
they take out Nicole. I think Nicole is their target next episode.
I feel like you're expecting too much from Smash. I'm so sorry.
Look, I'm just hoping that one day Smash will surprise us.
Wake up, Smash.
Wake up. Yeah, like I'm just hoping that one day we will get Smash and he just has this breakout episode and then goes home next episode because I don't want him winning. But like this one episode, he's just like ridiculously like big power player, big power moves, and just like shocks everyone. And then the next episode he goes home. Like that's what I want. That's how I want to see Smash's story end.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think you might have a disappointing run. He might get the final 3. I feel like he's a super goat at it at the moment. But
yeah, it's such a goat effort, man. I feel sorry for Anello, but at the same time, I don't, because he's making all these really stupid decisions of who to go with. Wouldn't you want to go with like he literally decided to go with a tight 3, even though they said they're not tight. Like it's so easy to go into a conversation with somebody else. Oh, we'll throw her under the bus. I don't care. Like
I was wondering, maybe it's like he and Tyson actually got along so well. Like it doesn't show like, but it did kind of show like Tyson and him are getting along. So that relationship sort of take more dominance. So like that, I mean, kudos to Tyson to make him feel safe and make him, want to work with him. So,
like, yeah, kudos to Tyson, but at the same time, like, should it really be kudos to Tyson because it's Anela? Like, it's like, it's Anela. Like, even I, with no social game, could get Anela on my side. Like,
I think you speak too highly of yourself, Josh. Don't.
No. But, like, I don't understand. Like, anyway, I'm going straight to the kill.
Yes, go, kill it.
I'm killing Anela. He's already dead, so we got to decapitate him, I guess. Like, cut off his limbs now. He's been dead for quite a while, so he's starting to stink. Makes sense. He stinks as a player too. But yeah, what is he doing? I don't get it. It makes no sense whatsoever. He could have went with a 3 that was more fractured. Right? He had the option of going with a 3 that was more fractured because that Chappies and Santonio are close, yeah. But Nenesu's on the outs in that 3. You take the Nenesu. Like, that's your goal. That's your ticket to the end. Like, and you just like went with like this other. Everyone knows that Tyson and Water are ridiculously close, as well as Kirin. Like, they know that 3 is like stupidly close, and Anela clearly couldn't see it. But I also I sort of want to like stab Nicole.
Okay, let me do it. You don't want to take all the kills on yourself. I was going to kill Nicole.
I feel like killing everyone, but yeah.
Nicole it's the same position with Anela, and she had that confession talking about how she's close to Nenesu, and then we have that scene with Chappies or like talking strategy and stuff. I feel like she is being swayed by Anela. I feel like she is not taking in charge. She's not like, no, Anela, I want this. You own me. Don't give a shit what you think. Let's work together, and then we think about this tomorrow. So I feel like she's being swayed. So like, if Anela is part of the problem, Nicole's also part of the problem. Like, I don't know what actually went behind the scene. Like, they don't show us, but at this moment, I feel like Nicole and Anela, they are not using this opportunity as much as they can. They wasted it.
Nicole essentially put herself on the bottom for next tribal council.
Yeah,
that's what she did. She didn't go with the people that went to Immunity Island that has the idol. Like, that's bloody knowledge. You want to have the idol on your side, right? If they decided to go with the Nesu and crew, right, the idol's on your side. You want that. You don't want to not have that option. Like, you want that idol on your side. Now it's on the opposite side where there's only 2 people, right? So you've essentially left 2 people out now, right? And there's a 50-50 chance that they're going to get the idol right? And you're the other vote. You're the split vote. They're not going to put... They might put 2 votes on everybody else, but to be honest, Chappies has that safe immunity pass, so he's probably even going to play defensively, and Santoni's going to play the idol on herself. So she's gone. Like, I know that she doesn't know about this safety without power, right? I get it. I get that. But, like, you don't want to take that risk. Like, you want to make sure that, everybody else doesn't have an idol because all of the idols have been ridiculously played in the first merge tribal. So, yeah, I sort of want to, like, hold the knife with you, with Nicole. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. You want to keep
Okay, cool.
Well, okay, let's move to that more positive note. So, who you want to marry this episode? You have to choose the 3, one of the 3.
Can I don't want to say it, but can I like sort of say Water?
Why? I'm surprised.
Well, I've got a theory. And we all love a theory, and they never come into fruition. But anyway, the fact that Anela knows that Tyson and Kirin are apparently okay with throwing Water under the bus means that Water essentially could be the other target for Anela and Nicole if it does go to a final 5, if they want to stay together. And that could be their sort of like ticket, I guess, in a really weird way. But like, I couldn't imagine seeing Water, Anela, and Nicole in the final 3. Like, that's a final 3 like you'll never think of. But like, I feel like it's weird to say, but like the fact that Anela knows about this apparently like plan to get rid of Water near the end for Kirin and Tyson means that he could use that to his advantage, and then like Water essentially becomes like the beneficiary of all this.
So, what, are you giving all the praise to Anela, but not so? But Water?
Yeah.
Basically
No.
can't do anything?
No, I'm giving the praise to Water because she technically isn't in the 3.
Yeah.
Is that weird? No, because like
You kind of
now,
praising
like, if
Anela.
Water gets ears of this, right? Say for example, if Water gets ears of this plan, apparently of like Anela, Tyson, Kieran, final 3, right? She can easily just flip that, especially with like Nicole. And I feel like that could potentially be like another end to the storybook. Essentially, I'm going with like this storybook idea tonight, where it's like a choose your own adventure type thing, and like it's just as nobody's adventure that they've ever chosen. It's like the dusty pages of the book that you've never opened, and that's the Water scene. To be honest, I just don't want to give it to Kieran and Tyson.
Well, can I? Okay, that's just me. I would give it to Kieran because he's playing behind the scenes so much, and then you have that scene with like, oh, Nicole's like, oh no, why not we're talking Kieran? It's like, oh no, like, Tyson and Water, they're like super tight. So like, so I'm just why do you think Tyson and Water are super tight? Because Tyson and Kieran have played together ever since. Like they started together and they swapped together. They swapped twice together. I don't know why, but so I feel like Kieran is in a much, and then they target Tyson first. They don't target Kieran first. Yeah. So I feel like Kieran's in a much more better position than Tyson and Water because both of them has been the target since.
I just don't like Kieran.
To be honest, I feel like he is a really boring winner. If he's winning, I feel like his edit's been so boring. He's really mundane. He's confessional. It's really calculated. There's no character in there. There's no sort of soul. He's just a robot for me.
He's ridiculously game body, and it's so boring.
Yeah,
he'd be the most boring winner of South Africa.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. We want to end this quickly. Yes. So we want to kiss this episode.
Well, like, look, I don't want to say it. Tyson.
Yeah, because do you want me to talk? Do you want me to?
No, to be honest, you know what? Tyson at least has like some type of personality, where you can sort of like engage with Tyson. I don't know.
We're not killing Kieran. Don't be the negative.
I know. But like, at least Tyson has a personality in this like power move, right? He's like the person with the personality, I guess. I don't know though. Like, I sort of want to kiss Chappies as well because they've sort of like he's built the connections with Anesu to Anesu give him the pass, and then also to get the idol as well. Like, they're the only ones with the power. Yes, they're in the minority now. But I don't know. I don't reckon they are. I don't know.
So I decided yet.
I'm not a big night. I'm kissing multiple people. Right?
So
I'm out the nightclub.
You're taking my options away.
No, I'm cheating on like Tyson and Chappie.
Hang on, you want to kill 2 person and then you want to kiss 2 person.
I'm in lockdown. Okay, I'm very toey. Right. Let me be in lockdown happy, okay? Let me live my fantasy.
Well, I guess like kiss if I pick Kieran for Mary, then Tyson I don't feel like Tyson make the I don't think he did anything to this episode as well. I feel like it's Kieran sort of
Kieran was pulling the strings in the background. I hate to say it.
He does. So okay, I'll kiss Santoni because she got an idol.
Hey, Santoni. I'm going to go back through all of our podcasts.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like compile like points for everyone.
Yeah.
I want to see. Like a cheesy point. I want to see who's where with ours. I want to see if ours compares to the guys on our head.
How you want to calculate the points? So kill is minus
well,
one?
I'm thinking with a marry we might give him 2 points. With a kiss it's 1 point, and with a kill it's -1.
Okay, so you might get a negative.
Oh yeah, Anela is definitely going negative. He got no hope. But I And then I might have like one for the visitors. It'll be like a visitors poll, like what the visitors.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because we've got our own, and then we'll have the visitors.
Okay, so
but I feel like D'Antoni probably is winning.
Because you throw ridiculous amount of points.
No, because she, like, to be honest, she is the only one really with a personality left, and and we're seeing it. We're seeing her personality. She's very up and down. She, you know, like, I don't want to call people out, but like, none of them really have a personality. They're all game bots. Like, to look back, like if I was to look back at this season, I'd be like, yeah, it was great when it was happening. But like to rewatch it would be so boring.
I feel like it's like the live reality game sort of casting, because everyone who applies actually
a game bot. No, that's true. No, that's true. Like everyone you get applying are like game bots. That's why like it's really hard with like hosting like casting for live reality games. It's because everyone that knows about them are like super fans, so they become like just these like game bot players, like where it's more about like, I understand it's more about social strategy and stuff like that, I get that, but like it's social to a point where it's like boring. It's not like ridiculously social. Like it's not like you don't get like these big like loud characters, and you know you get all these people like quietly scheming behind the scenes, and it just becomes like, and the confessionals are always just like very game bot.
Well, yeah, I feel like our season is more a little bit different, the one we play with, because we have a few casuals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I feel like cast some casuals. Like they are ridiculously hard to play with. Like, I feel like if you're a super fan, playing with the casuals is another sort of a different set of skills you need to acquire.
Playing as a super fan and playing with people that are casuals, it's sort of like you're in year 12 and they're in kinder. Like it's sort of like you're doing like math equations and they're like playing with an abacus. Well, and they don't understand what an abacus is. Like that's sort of like, you know, you're doing like high level trigonometry and they're like sitting there with like balls and like groups and just counting them. Like that's like the level of difference when like a super fan and a casual plays.
Yeah.
But like you want to watch the casual because they're like ridiculously entertaining and they have no idea what's going on. So like, and they're just like chaotic because they have no idea what's happening.
And then they would do things that, you know, normally you won't do because you'd be like, okay, logically, I'm not going to do that because that's stupid. But then they didn't think that, you know, and then they sort of like do the opposite what you think like normal people would do, like all like normal fans would do, like or like normal game player would do. So they are different set of skills. So you have to anticipate what they do.
I know, like for example, our season when we played, I was like legit the most boringest person ever. But like, I guess it also comes down to editing too, yeah? Like you can edit someone to be like stupidly funny, even though they have
to be stupid. They have to say funny things at least.
Yeah, they have to say funny things, or like just do like really stupid stuff. Like, but like, you know, 1% of their game's just like all stupid plays, and then 99% of their game is actually like decent. But like, just use the 1%. And then, like, you can easily, like, make a different character or someone based on that. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, whenever I play a live reality game, my first instinct is, like, this is going to be filmed. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say because you're going to come to me. You know what I'm going to say.
Anything else you wanna tell us apart from that?
Not really. Look, we're still in lockdown, so things obviously won't be happening. Like, so we're not going to be able to do our trial at the moment, unfortunately. If you're watching, shocker. I don't think anybody was really shocked about that. Sorry,
have you announced on the group yet?
I actually haven't announced it. No, probably should. But I think people would understand because, like, you know. Do
you have a new date, or you're
there's no new date at the moment. But I'm gonna contact the people that applied and let them know that essentially we're going to work out a new date. It's just hard because like COVID, you just have no idea. Like, you know, we were looking okay-ish at, you know, when I announced it, we weren't even in our 5th lockdown. I announced it after our 4th lockdown. We're in our 6th lockdown. Like, we've had 2 lockdowns since then. Since I announced it. So like it becomes like ridiculously hard to understand like anything. I sort of don't want to. They're looking at like apparently Australia being like 80% vaccinated by the end of November, start of December, apparently. Not everyone will get a vaccine because Australians are stubborn. So if you're watching and you're an Australian, get it. I will come for you.
We're not representing live Reality Games, but in our sort of social bubble, we're pro-vaccine. Okay, so
yeah,
everyone get vaccinated.
Yeah. So I'll put that disclaimer there. But like regardless, games will be happening soon. I know season 4 for Melbourne Survivor will be casting probably late December for season 4. I'm hoping. I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic on this stuff, and I feel like if we push as a team, we'll get everything done. It's just a matter of pushing.
How are we looking for the season 3 release?
Season 3 release is actually looking pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
a matter of getting everyone who's editing pumped up and ready to go. Everything's already we've started writing storyline, so that's cool. We love a storyline. I think a storyline helps a lot. I might give some live reality games tips for filming and editing right now. Essentially, obviously film the season, but make sure when you're filming the season to compile like episodes once you've done it, like once you've done the episode. So, for example, like, you've done your first episode, make sure you get all the footage right then and put that into one file. So then you know that that's episode 1 instead of at the end of the weekend compiling it all together and you have no idea where anything is.
I don't think the viewers want to know all about this.
No, but like it's good to know because somebody out here that's in live reality games might be thinking of filming one.
Well, okay, if you're interested in doing something, just contact us, basically.
Yeah, actually, yeah, no. If you are interested in us talking about potential like creating a season or like whatever, and you're wanting to do something, reach out to the Live Reality Games team. We will help you out with like ideas that will like make it easier for you to like get your season undergoing and underway. We'll also help you out with like things like how to like work a season, like create teams to help you build it. I'm pretty sure there's people on here that will help out with like even graphics as well. We can work out something. I'm happy to help. But yeah, just contact us. I love this. I love this crap. Like it's my hobby. People go to the gym. I watch live reality games.
Yeah. Josh, I think it's time for this.
It is time to end the phone call.
Yes, it's time to end the phone call because you're.
I'm babbling on. I could sit here for hours and nobody would tune in, and I'd just be talking to myself.
Yes, Josh. All right. Clearly the lockdown has got to Josh. Sorry.
Yeah, so it really has. Let me out. I want to go.
No, okay. If anyone likes it, kind of like we bantering, let us know. We can do a Josh and Vince.
We could do like a I could do like a not a tutorial,
like a talk show.
Yeah, a talk show. We could do a talk show. I'd be happy with a talk show, Vince. That sounds great. Nobody would tune in.
No. What we can do is we talk about how we build a season, like me and you and this, and I'm just like, how do we build a season? Like this is what we do. I mean,
I would love I'd love a build a season like a podcast. Yeah. And like ideas and like what you go through with building a season, the pros, the cons, the like whole thing of like organizing locations, casting, filming.
You know what? Maybe we can do that with the backyard in Canberra, like when we all sit down together and we have this big podcast about yes, Kirk, good idea. Kirk, we can also talk about the US one and we can talk about the Australian one and what's the differences.
Yeah, I'll be down. I'd be down for this because like I feel like yes, it's easy to watch like a live reality game, and it's also easy to watch like a podcast, right? But having a podcast purely about building a season, it might inspire some people to create more stuff. So when I'm in further lockdowns, I've got more stuff to watch. But yeah, like I'm keen. I'm keen for this.
All right. I think that's it for this week. Hopefully we'll tune in next week. I know the schedule's been wet because like me and Josh, I'm quite busy sometimes due to commitments, and Josh is only available Friday and Saturday, so like that's only the few days we can work with. So I mean, hopefully
at the moment I'm available every day. But yeah. But usually I'm only available on Fridays and Saturdays. But anyway.
Sorry. Australian Survivor, it's really great. So check it out and see you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah, guys. Bye.